So today, got a random one. I mean, kind of so random. I really have no idea what it's about. Seems like it's some sort of vicious drama or something. I don't know. There's just some sort of warning at the beginning of I don't know. Just um, and what's strange is that it doesn't even have a page in an encyclopedia. So it seems like an obscure movie as opposed to Oscar nominees or Oscar winners, which usually have pages that are seriously long. This one has no page at all. It's called Keeping Rosy, and as I say, I have no idea what it's about. Not sure if it's in another language. Haven't checked it yet, but yeah. Anyway, let's see what it's about then. I I do like going blind into films. It's better than you know the alternative. I if I do any research, it's usually after watching it. There's no point really before, because it risks starting with the wrong one. While I was lucky with the Three Mothers trilogy, in that they weren't really prequel, sequel, and such. Yeah, some others aren't like that, I suppose. I thought it's usually obvious if something is a sequel. That's a lot of references usually. Anyway, let's begin this then. Well, it's vicious, alright. Suppose it could have remained just with regards to business, but clearly that's just an extra to indicate that her life is degenerating, shall we say. I wonder though, it seemed like the hit with the bottle was on the head, so how exactly does the nose bleed then if it was on the head? I mean, the nose surely would bleed if it was a hit on the nose, wouldn't it? It's a bit strange. Also, how is it a delayed reaction? Is it usually a delayed reaction? I mean, if somebody faints after a hit, they faint immediately, usually, don't they? Then after 5 minutes or something. I suppose it's still possible, no? I mean, guess it's like a browser which freezes for a bit and then only does whatever it was supposed to do 5 minutes ago, yeah? Yeah. This turned into Psycho quite quickly, didn't it? Like even Psycho wasn't as Psycho as this. Yeah, no, Psycho took about half of the film before that was the entire point. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, it's quite creepy, especially the car reversal thing. Yeah, and unless I'm mistaken, and DNA is washed off in water. I'm assuming it's not, at least something might still be there. So, I mean, yeah, let's just say what she did was very sloppy. I mean, I don't know, even even Norman Bates tried to do something else. I mean, something. I mean, in Bates Motel he was hallucinating while doing it, but well, not like the first time. Anyway, yeah, even in his hallucinatory state, he at least took some precautions. I don't know, even if it's just yeah, never mind. I really had no idea I was going to watch some psycho-like drama here. Yeah, I yeah, as I say, it have some sort of warnings, and I thought then it might be a vicious drama. But this vicious, this early, it's not even 20 minutes haven't even passed. It's incredible. You know, recently I did intend to not watch any more, horror films. I mean, I actually haven't even checked the genres for this. I just had it. I had it, and so I really just scared. Just I decided to watch this randomly. Turned out to have these sort of elements as well. It's more psycho than Korean horror, but still. At one point she said, "This is my will." She said that before any of this happened. She said in response to some sort of business. So presumably business is her world, except suddenly her world is um yeah. What do you know? Psycho with a baby. That's something Psycho series didn't have, did it? It didn't have children, did it? I don't think so. Um, well, if this entire film sounds full of crying, then I don't know. I don't know how people have babies for more than an hour and a half. An hour and a half is quite a lot, is already. Yeah. Wow. I cannot figure out how she could get violent over a bottle of alcohol and yet try to be gentle with a baby. Um, yeah, bizarre. Um, how both of those, and I don't know if they can really be true in real life. And this movie, yeah, it's a little bit contradictory. Well, in normal circumstances, someone would be violent over alcohol, I guess, would be presumably an alcoholic themselves, and alcoholics do not presumably aren't presumably able to care for babies as much. I mean, like even a person who doesn't drink isn't automatically capable of taking care of babies. It's something special is required to take care of them. Something that prevents the mind from eroding with the constant crying. And it's very difficult to everything that happens after the first 15 minutes. Well, I mean, you know, it's very difficult to reconcile that with what happens after she finds the baby. I mean, yeah, I keep thinking that the baby is crying because she can feel something is wrong. Someone that she knew before is missing, isn't there. The stranger is there. Because ultimately, no one knows exactly why baby's crying. Well, besides, I mean, well, that's the thing, they cry for every negative thing, I suppose. And sometimes they cry for no reason, but theoretically they have a reason. But yeah, whether it's something like that, no one can verify at all because they need to be able to talk and tell people around them why they're crying, and they cry because they cannot talk, so it's kind of like defeats the purpose. Yeah, it's very difficult to reconcile these things, Um, halfway through, and it's a bit jarring, I suppose. As I say, it's very difficult to even think of someone who, can even properly take care of a baby, or even want to, if they've if they if they usually resort to violent outbursts. I mean, so far it hasn't happened with the baby, but well, but what's the point? Just over a bottle of alcohol, even if it was stolen, no point in resorting to it, somehow that happens. Yeah. And so took me a while to realize where this is set. It's not said explicitly. With the skyscrapers, at first I thought it was New York City or something, but no, I guess there are skyscrapers elsewhere as well. And then I saw what seemed like the shard, but I thought the shard was further. I don't know. Yeah, there was only one shard, I suppose, in one place. So far the place still hasn't been mentioned. Huh? It's just not very obvious. Anyway, there's some cool wall art. Wall art is it? No, graffiti. I mean, I suppose it's not quite. It's not. It's artistic graffiti at the 55th minute mark. Yeah, pretty cool. With it looks like bulldogs, something of them. Yeah, how could she not have thought of CCTV before now? It's remarkable she even made it this far. And you know, wouldn't an ideal security system have like external storage backup thing? So I mean, even if everything is destroyed, there's a central place. Wouldn't they ideally have CCTV that transmits to another place externally? Obviously, be pretty useless if the CCTV remains there. I don't know if they normally do that, but somehow it seems like it's the only way to really secure a place in the case that something like this happens. It happened in this film. Um, but yeah, I mean that would be one surefire way, not to prevent, even if it's accidental destruction or such. The sirens in the background at the end they make it more ominous, don't they? Um, so clearly earlier on the radio, you seem to be misled, but uh, you know, security guard clearly knows much more somehow. So he either went to the police to inform them or hasn't yet. In which case, she can try to do something, is what she must be thinking at the table. And she really is going to go full psycho, huh? With a knife and all instead of a bottle, which I don't think Norman Bates ever used. Um, yeah, somehow she can still take care of a baby. How that is possible, I have no idea. She even went to peep while they were having intercourse. That's so Norman Bates, huh? I never thought I'd see a female Norm. Oh wait, yeah, Norma Bates. What if she does this and then later on she somehow has Norman and she changes her name to Bates? That's, I don't even know what her current last name is, so could be Bates for all I know. Huh. Well, this has certainly been one of the strangest movies I've seen. Like, even Psycho made no sense. Um, yeah, I mean, let's assume that the security guard, learned about odds over Mississippi and such. Um, Still, I mean, why would he want the baby? I mean, unless he wants to extort more money, I suppose that's a possible. But I don't know. He seems to just want the baby for some reason. Who would want a baby? Uh, as in, it's not exactly like money, is it? It actually babies cost money, not the other way around. Yeah, and the ending is certainly bizarre. Uh, uh, let's say Psycho had a more plausible ending. Well, I mean, as plausible as can be at least. It was a bit explanatory, but still makes more sense than this. I don't know what this was supposed to be about. Um, we didn't have the high dramatics of Psycho, the tense music and such. It had some, but not as much. Obviously, this was filmed 7 years ago or something. Psycho is decades old, but I don't know. It's really bizarre. It's like if Norman Bates tried to compromise or something, and I I don't know why the security guard was so violent, especially with the one he had sex with later on. That's bizarre. Yeah. Unless he's just naturally violent, which is still entirely possible. But some people, I guess, can show one side at one point and another soon after. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It was sort of a thriller, but then it wasn't really because it didn't quite thrill me as much. But maybe the initial incident didn't even make much sense in terms of motivation and such. Like, Norman Bates at least had the excuse of being mentally ill. I suppose she could say she had anger problems, but I don't know. I mean, over a bottle. Suppose that she had anger problems from having just been excluded from being made a partner and whatnot. I don't know. It's just it's a bizarre little film. I didn't expect this, and I don't know what I expected. Literally, all I knew about this going in is the name. I correctly surmised that it was a baby, because it doesn't make much sense otherwise. If you keep someone, Uh, but yeah, mm, I don't know. I kind of liked, like the French film I once watched. It was something similar about someone who got into an incident early on and then someone investigated. It was sort of the other way around. Instead, instead this person was the perpetrator as opposed to simply a bystander who was investigating. But I don't know, the French film, despite having no music at all, was quite powerful. Still, it's quite quiet as well. I certainly prefer that over this. But I don't know. It's not exactly the best I've seen, but it's whatever it is. I suppose in the end, yeah. I don't know. It's a weird thing, weird motivations. I mean, there were a few interesting sights, but not really that much. Ultimately, the plot really needs to be relied on besides cinematography. Anyway, yeah, it's just whatever.